a real treat when you can get into your shed and listen to great bands like Journey. But I get out of the house and get away from my teenage daughter. I can't play great music in the house. Turn the music down, Dad. I get in the shed and play 80s pop music and Pointer Sisters Jump and Rick Springfield, Billy Ocean, Dire Straits, you name it, Fleetwood Mac, Queen, anything really. Anything from that era. It's fantastic music and I get a lot of inspiration from it. But here I am. I'm making a wing shelf or a desk for my computer. It's just not at the right height for me, so I've had to get out there and get a scabby bit of steel from the back of my shed, and an old shelf it was, and covered in rust, and I had this plan in my head for a little while, and I thought, let's go out there and do something with this bit of steel. And I work in aviation. I have my whole life, nearly 30 years, believe it or not, and wanted to make this wing for a little while. So I get the bits and pieces together and finally get this thing going, get the music happening, and get into the shed and sweat my guts out and put this thing together. I'm just adjusting my light up there at the moment. This is a part of my roof truss thing I made earlier, and that light I can just move anywhere on that truss, anywhere that I'm working, which is pretty handy at times. Also with my camera around, that's where my camera is sitting up there at the moment. I just position it up there on a little stand, and helps take some aerial shots. I'm not a great photographer or a cinematographer or anything like that, I just muck about. So right here I'm just marking out part of my rib structure for the wing, and asymmetrical, one might want to call it, for the aviation buffs out there. Yeah, I'll just wait till I can see something interesting to talk about and be back in a second. Oh, here I am, chopping the rib out with a rusty old blunt jigsaw blade, and it pops out eventually. Clamping the bit of steel down to my table, and you can use shears. I see some guys using, or some people using shears and stuff like that. I've got a set of hand shears, but they're not that great. But anyway, let's see how this goes. Yeah, there you go, there's one. Getting on the grinder there. This shed of mine, it gets pretty darn hot during the middle of summer. It's in Australia, Townsville, North Queensland. Well, in outside ambient temperatures probably about 33 degrees and humidity's up around 80%, sometimes higher during our wet season. And inside my shed it gets ridiculous. And this year I have to say I've suffered a lot in my shed. I've bloody almost got heat exhaustion being in there. I need to really do something about insulating the shed and putting some windows in it or put some ventilation in it. I'm just turned into a great big sook this year, and yeah, I just can't drink enough fluids and keep up out of the heat. So anyway, that's enough about me soaking on. I'm just marking out these ribs at the moment and getting ready to weld a little angle on it so I can weld them to the main skin of the wing. I'm too much of a tight ass to go out and buy rivets, so I've decided to just drill holes and spot weld, just using my welder. This is all steel, it's not aluminium. If it was an aircraft, it would be using some aluminium alloys there. I'll be forming up the ribs and drilling holes and using rivets suitable for the job. But this is just for my work, it's just for my computer. So steel's really easy to work with, and it's something I had at hand, and makes good use of the materials that I got. So it's welding, and in the end it turned out alright. it's filled a few people already, so it's quite funny. But anyway, what else have I got here? So I welded up my it's basically like spot welds. I drilled the hole in the sheet enough to contact the flange on the other side, and then I weld it through, and that creates what looks like a rivet. Works for me, sort of. my little Makita battery drill there, a bit of a flogging. Now that I've got two ribs, there's 3 ribs in this job, I've got 2 on there. Now I'll flip the thing over and drill the holes and on the other side and weld those through. I think it's just clamped on there at that stage, and put the spot welds on one side so that the ribs are attached to the skin. Yeah, once I'm happy with the spot welds, I'll just clamp it to the bench there and bend it over, bend that bit of sheet over and tap it down with a bit of just a piece of wood there, and make sure it contacts those ribs. Once I've got it down nice where I want it, I'll just trim the excess off. Here's me on the hand shears giving my little forearms a workout. I'm trying to cut through steel. And at this stage I'm making the base, and it's just a bit of steel rod. I think it's about 6mm, thereabouts, 1/4 inch. And cleaning up, doing a final clean up. Bit of Scotch Brite. I've obviously sanded it, and now I'm just cleaning up with a bit of Scotch Brite. I used a bit of acid cleaner on the thing to try and remove whatever rust was on it. Cleaning the sides up. Didn't spend too long sanding it up. Got a file on it as well, and that helps cake all the, just deburr all the sharp edges after using the shears and the jigsaw to cut the sides. And I don't want to get splinters and get people's fingers cut or anything like that, so just using the file on the sides there. I at the very end of the job, I didn't show it, but I used a bit of clear coat and just put clear coat on the thing. That's the box. That's my computer's been sitting on for about 6 months or longer. Well, I reckon it's not a bad effort for a shiny bum. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Be good meanwhile. Take care.